Hello my stitchy friends, welcome back. My name is Laura, you found Lala D Stitches, and I'm so glad you're here with me this morning. I wanted to film last week and life has been crazy busy, and then I almost didn't film today because my little sister is pregnant, and baby boy gave us a bit of a scare last night, and so it was a really late night and I'm a little fried. Everything's gonna be okay. He's healthy. Mama's healthy. It's just, I think it's gonna be a rough last 5 or 6 weeks for her, unfortunately. So that's okay. We just need him to bake a little bit longer, and then we'll welcome him with open arms. But anyways, it was a long night. So if I seem a little fried, that's why. But everything's good. And I'm glad to be here. I have lots to show. And as always, I have plans that I'll probably do 50% of and and diverge from the other 50%. So anyways, lots to see. So let's just dive in. I also have, because of our late night and emergency rooms and all that stuff, I have my phone on. The sound is on. So, which I don't normally do during my videos. I do apologize, but I need to be able to stay in contact. So, okay. Yeah, let's jump in. I have 2 FFOs, I have a finish, and we're just going to start there. So, first one is The Sewing Bird by Brenda Gervais. I stitched this, I think it was last year I actually stitched it, last summer. It's on weeks something. It was just a little scrap at the shop, and anyways, I thought it was so pretty, and I changed a few of the colors and made it my own, and it's just soft and gentle and lovely. And this is a frame that used to be just like I don't want to say cheap, but it was like a pre-installed art piece kind of thing, and I pounded that out of the frame and so I could use this. I got it for $1 at the thrift shop, which is awesome. Anyways, I love it. He's a little crookedy dookedy, but it's subtle. It's okay. It's gonna be fine. It's helped by the fact that those zigzag lines, it's very subtle. It's just my eyes can see it. But I love him. He's so sweet. And it's really fun to have a sewing themed finish in my studio. So that's the first one. I'll just set him there. Okay. Next one is Ladybug Parade, which I stitched with the called for colors on a scrap of peachy linen. In fact, it's the same linen that I'm stitching Alice Meets the Caterpillar on. So I don't know the exact name of it. I want to say it's like crushed strawberries or something like that. So cute. This is another thrift store frame, and I haven't put paper on the back yet. I need to get some. But it's so cute and timely for our little beginning of soft summer here. Where should we put him? Should we put him over here? Sure. There we go. Kind of just tucked in the corner. So that felt really good. Those were 2 that had been finished and were just sitting in my box. And yeah, it always feels good to get them out. You know, it's funny, many of my projects, I should say, I do have intentions of finishing, and so when they go in the box, I get a little restless and wanting them to be finished at some point. But okay, everything's good. Sorry. But others I stitch just for the pleasure of stitching them. I definitely have projects in my many oodles of whips that I'm just stitching because I want to stitch them. I don't know if they'll ever be anything other than a delightful experience to stitch, but I don't know. I guess that's that. But these fibers I had always planned to finish, so I was happy to have them complete, and it's been really fun. They've been out for like the last week, and I'm really enjoying them. Okay, next one. This was a bit of an unexpected finish, but okay, I'll just show it to you. So this is Hive Rules by Primrose Cottage, and it's on Seraphim fabric, linen, 32 count, sunflower fields. Look at my memory. I love it. I really love how it turned out. I was just gonna do one section, but I got that finished and had started on this border, and I was like, oh my gosh, if I just power through for a day or two, I could finish this completely. And so that's what I did. I threw all other plans to the wayside and just stitched on this for a few days, and it's done. I'll get my face out. It's so sweet. All the phrases are so wholesome and uplifting, and I love it. I do not know how or when I will finish this one, but I definitely want to be able to pull it out in summer. So pretty. This fabric is fabulous. I wish I had, I mean, it will just depend on how I finish it. If I do a soft finish, I can kind of, you know, we could do something with that, something small. But if I wind up framing it, I might need more of the fabric, and I don't know. I don't know that I'll be able to use any of the remnants, but it's great fabric. And a sweet finish. Also, I have the biggest board in the land. Because, oh, it looks like I drew lines on it. I have it pulled out for a specific finish, but I haven't done it, and I actually used my other board for finishing these guys. So I need to go out and purchase extra boards because by the end of the week this one will not be available, but I guess it's good timing to have it now. Alright, what did I work on? I was all over the place. I worked on some things that were planned and other things that I just pulled out because I wanted to. So that's how the cookie crumbles. Alright, coffee. First one is, you don't need to be like looking at the board. How can I set this here? Beautiful. Okay, first one is the Herbalist. Where is the picture? By Loombug. Loombug. This is by Loombug. And I love it. And she just dropped the a companion stitch called the Collector. Has I love it. It's so good. And I instantly hustled my buns over to Etsy and purchased the pattern. So that's like my haul. Here's what I stitched. Anyways, it's so dang good. I do need to find another piece of, I think I'll stitch it on 18 count Ada as well. Just so they're, you know, companion pieces, matchy-matchy. But I am loving stitching this. I love the pixelated, beautiful colors. There are a lot of colors in this. And after a little gru blah blah with my counting skills, or lack thereof, rather. We are on track and moving forward, and you're starting to see just a little bit of the magic that's going to happen as these shapes fill in with the rich colors and you get the movement and beautiful shading. It is just so good. This little picture doesn't do it justice, but I love it. I love it so much. And as soon as I get some Ada, I'll at least give the collector a start, just so they can be in the same bag together and be happy, because I don't want any of my projects to be lonesome. This Ada is Oaken by Picture This Plus. It's lovely and soft, and yeah. Quandary. Where do I put these? Gently on the floor. There we go. Problem solved. Okay, next one. I need a picture. This was a new start, which I think I mentioned it in the last video. This is called Pretty Bird by the Wayward Needle. Let me look at my pattern. I don't have, so I just bought a stack of 3x5s, which is how I track my project information, but I have been out for several months, and so I've got quite the little project for myself to, oh, here's the collector in All Things Distracted. Sorry for the glare. Isn't it cute? Oh my gosh, I love it. And the like little starry night nod and the fruit bowl. All the details are delightful. Anyways, back to Pretty Bird. I don't remember what I was saying. Yes, Wayward Needle Designs. So, she dropped this a few weeks ago. Another one I just fell in love with. Here is the cover shot with less glare, except for the screen looks gross. I have this cheap cover. Anyways, that's a me problem. This is the design. Anyways, it's just so lovely. The colors are gentle and it's so interesting. I just fell in love with it right away. So I'm stitching it on the blue version of Vintage Country Mocha. I don't actually know what it's called. I'm sorry. But it is printed blue. And that's my start. And these are the lovely colors, of which I have all but one. And I just did little lengths. I'll need more than this, but it's a start. I do get questions sometimes about my little project cards. How do I determine how much floss I put on them? It depends on the project. Sometimes you can gauge pretty easily how much you'll need, and I'll just put everything I think I'm gonna need. On the pre-cut flosses, I've found if it's around, and not all patterns will give you stitch counts either. Like if you've got a physical pattern, they're not always going to give you a stitch count. But if it is there, a length, and I typically work on like 32 is my average. A length will give me around 200-ish stitches. So like one set of 6 strands, if that makes sense. So I don't normally talk about it because it's hard to explain. And it's all guesswork. It's all guesswork. So that's approximately, one length for every 200 stitches. A lot of patterns, it's 200 or less per color, unless there's like a main color. Like this one, those periwinkles, I don't know how many stitches there are, but it's probably more than 200. So I'd need more than one length. But it's a DMC, like this one. So I just threw a length on there. And if I don't have a stitch count, I'll do at least one length of every color. And I just kind of eyeball the pattern picture, and if it looks like there's a lot, maybe I'll add a couple extra lengths to it. Sometimes I have to go back and get more. Sometimes I have more than I need. It's all just kind of educated guessing, if you will. But it's worked out really well for me. I've only had one project where by the time I got back to it with any seriousness, I ran out of the floss. It was an overdyed, and my new skein had a different dye lot. But if you just, I typically also work with 2 strands. So if you take one length of each and kind of blend it, it's not bad. It's not bad. Not a guarantee, but anyways, that's just kind of me and my little shenanigans here. But that's my floss cards. At least one length, you know, sometimes 2 if I think it's going to need more. And then I can always come back and get more. So that's Pretty Bird. And do I need any more pictures yet? I don't think so. Okay. So next one, this one I picked up and I'll probably finish. I won't go back away permanently. This is The Lady in the Caticorn. It's Darling by Barbara Anna Designs. You can get it on her Ko-Fi. And yeah, what's not to love? Fat little kitty with mismatched eyes and all the flowers. So I'm stitching it on this mystery lilac colored linen, but with the called for DMCs. And this is where I am. Guys, I've made so much progress. Before he was half a body with a face. Now he's a whole body with landscaping. Isn't he cute? I love him so much. Oh yeah, he'll be done in no time. Another day or 2 of stitching. I was working on him yesterday and had planned to get a little further, but you know, emergencies and all. I'm so glad I live close enough. Anyways, he's adorable. I love him, and I can hardly wait to turn him into a project bag because he'll be perfect. Okay. All right, next one. I'm officially behind, and that's okay. I knew I wasn't going to be able to keep up. So this is a sampler for Grace, which is being hosted as a stitch along, a 12-month stitch along by XO Needle in the Hay XO. And I don't remember what the hashtag is. Anyways, you can look it up on Instagram. She's very regular about posting. She's posting or showing us our next segment every 2 weeks. And as I said, I'm officially behind. But that's all right. I'm stitching mine on Platinum Lugana, which is gorgeous. The colors are just singing. I can hardly wait to get more of this next border in because it introduces more colors, which will be fun. So if I were caught up, I would have all of the first box of 1/1 stitching done and all of this border. And then she just announced the next section, which is like the top of the house. And there's like a vine. Clearly I'm not there, but I did do some stitching on it, so I am still stitching, picking away. I need to, apparently I had to rip out some 1/1 as I have little marks there. Hey, play nice, rude. There we go, fix your cookies. What do I have to say about this? It's beautiful. I look forward to working on it again. And I'll probably have to start doing like an obligatory word of 1/1 every few days. I was gonna say every week, but that would take me forever. So every few days I should pull it out and do a word. And even if that's all I did in June, that would be productive. It won't be though, because I do want to get, this border has really pretty pinks in it. And yeah, getting some of those brighter colors in will just give it some magic. So there we sit. She's a beaut. She's a beaut, Clark. Okay. It's officially summer here, even though it's not, but it's warm. I turned on my AC this morning for the first time. It felt like I lost a battle. I'm grateful to have it though, so it's okay. Okay, next one, Crafter Owl by NathNolu. I have several of these. I haven't picked up the Raven yet, but I have the Quilting Fox and the Book Burrow, her little badger there with a frog. And I've started with Crafter Owl. I love them. And they're so cute, and they're really fun to stitch. And all I have so far is a lamp. But hey, that's a solid start. I think it's like, I have this in Markup RXP. I've been trying to do that now that I've got a tiny tablet again. I am trying to use it for my digital patterns, and it's fabulous. I'm getting used to it. Anyways, I think the lamp is like 10% of the pattern. It feels like it shouldn't be that much, but he's not a very big crafter owl. Anyways, very pretty. Really satisfying stitching. Something about it just makes my juices bubble. It's good. That was 14 count Ada. Let me bring it back. 14 count Ada by Bestitch Me. One more reproduction. This was my reject from Wise and Wonderful. Okay. Itchy nose. Next one is Sampler Hill, which I hadn't planned on working on more, but just hit the spot one day. I'm working on this big old alphabet hill here. Brenda Gervais, did I say that? And I would say I'm about halfway. In fact, I think I'm solidly halfway. Yeah, look at that. This side feels so naked now. Yeah, it feels really good. I don't really have a lot of exciting things to say about it. I'm just working on the hill. But it is very satisfying. Like, that's a lot of stitching. It goes slower than you think it will. You're like, oh, I can whip that out. No big deal. But it's fun. It's fun stitching. And it's such a pretty project. And one of these days it'll just be done, and what will I do with myself then? I'll have to work on that border. Add in our dapper gentleman over here. I don't know. The fabric is Mayflower, 32 count linen. Am I going through these too fast? I hope not. I feel like I'm living on a prayer and caffeine right now. So I'm trying not to talk too fast, but I do feel like we're going through these really quickly. Ugh, I have so much hair right now. Okay. Next project, in the greenhouse. I wanted to have a full corner done. I didn't quite make it, but I got all of the green stitched. This is by Mojo Stitches, and I'm stitching it on a 32 count navy bean linen by Lakeside Linens. So all of the green is done except for a little bit of vine work, and then I just need to add the orange blossoms. And yeah, and then I'm gonna work on the first shelf. I actually have, so I made a working copy of the pattern so I could glue it all together, because there are so many color changes in the leaves that I did not want to mess up counting again. I did have an error when I picked this up this year. So there was some frogging that had to happen, and again, we're moving forward, you know. But I didn't want that to happen again, so I made a working copy and I glued it all together, and then I went on the bottom of the pattern and I actually wrote what sections, like what order I wanted to do things in, so I could check them off. Because these projects are so fun, but they are deceptive. They're a lot more stitching than they look like. But they're beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Can hardly wait to get some of those rich, warm colors in. Right now it's a little green. And I love green, don't get me wrong, but green will sparkle more if it has a little bit of something else with it. So, yeah. There's that. Okay, this one I was really enjoying, and then I ran out of floss. So that was a bummer. Cicadas Song Sampler by Cosford Rise in a really beautiful bag. I love this chart. It's gorgeous. So I don't have any before pictures this week. I do apologize. I have not been particularly organized about my stitching. But that's okay. We're still stitching, so that's what really matters. I was trying to complete the border, which is fiddly with all these little sticks and twigs poking out. But I brought it down like this, and then I ran out of caper. I did find some, actually it was in Sampler Hill, and I don't need it anymore. I've already stitched the places it is, so I was able to take that skein, and I'll be able to continue on and finish that border now. But when I ran out of floss, I came up and started adding some of the grout to our mill here. This is on the called for Vintage Country Mocha, and it's just warm and gorgeous. I love this. I don't think I'll put it away anytime soon. It has birds on it, right? So something I haven't mentioned. Where's a bird? Give me a bird. Show me a bird. If there's one bird, it counts. There's a bird! I've already stitched most of it. Right there. So, I have decided randomly to stitch birds for the next couple of weeks, as you'll see in my plans. So for a project to be in my rotation for the next 2 or 3 weeks, it has to have a bird in it. Kind of silly, but fun. Okay, next one is Wise and Wonderful, or All Things Wise and Wonderful. I've kind of shortened it. Heartstring Samplery. And I am, let's see, do I have my, I'm sure there's a tag on it. Uh-oh. Rude. Oh no! As I almost fall out of my chair. That's fine. The epitome of grace. Okay. On this big bed sheet of fabric, which is called, oh, I must have taken the tag off. I want to say it's Seraphim Linen, and it's called Boston? My brain wants to say Boston. Anyways, I'm turning this into a motif a week, which is a vague way to try to keep stitching on it because it's giant. But I also want to stitch on more seasonal things as we go into summer. So I added in some of my first blooms, finished my seagull, added the cherries and a tiger, and the beginning of a moth or a lightning bug here. I don't remember why I didn't finish it, but there must have been a reason. Ugh, please stay in place. Color is a bit more green than it's showing, but it's so cute. You finish one little thing and you want to go to another. Really cute. This is on a 28 count, so it will be giant. That's okay. Makes for really fun, comfortable stitching. Okay. Another unexpected... I mean, I remember talking about this in the last video, but I hadn't thought I would work on it. And then we were watching Batman, and it just felt comfortable to stitch on it. Anyways, I don't know. I pulled it out, gave it some love, and here we are. So I added in our rain clouds, finished the sunshine, added the bee, but for the black, which I just didn't have any on my floss card at the time, and then put in the bones of our grasshopper. Yeah. This one's so fun. I'm stitching it on 27 count, even weave, Lunar by Bestitch Me. And I love this. It is so pretty. Yeah, it's beautiful. Okay. Working my way down. I do need to acquire, I think it's 581 or something like that. Something to fill in these leafy stitches, though I kind of like them leafy, but they're supposed to be filled in. And I have done it on some of them. I don't know. I suppose I could leave a few empty for being artsy. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, I still need more of that color because I have more vine to stitch, so. It's another one that I look at it, I'm like, oh, I can finish that real quick. But there's a lot more stitching than you'd think. I'm also not sure that I'll stitch the entire hill. I might, I don't know, maybe I'll wind up wanting it squared off. But I might just do the brown. I don't know, we'll get it in and see how I like it. Maybe it needs to be squared off, but I don't know. Okay, last but not least, I gave a very tiny start after I finished Hive Rules to the Bee Queen by Tiny Modernist. And let me see if I can organize all her bits. I mean, it's very small. Very small. I just started on her hair. Ooh, ah. But the colors are going to be so pretty on this fabric. And the white will pop really good, so it's exciting. I think I'll try to get her head done and then maybe, excuse me, go up into the moon and then bring down one side. Since it's repeated motifs, might be good to like go down one side, then work on her, and then come back to the other side later. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I might totally change my path of stitching, but there is my very impressive start. She's so pretty though. I'm really excited to be working on her. I've had her kitted up for a couple of years now. Alrighty. So, kind of flew through that. That's okay. We can talk about my plans, which are in this bucket. Hiya. Okay, that'll work. So, birds. I want to work on birds. Oh, I didn't pull out Kingfisher. That's okay. We're just going to fly through. I didn't even press these. I just pulled them out of their bags. So, this also has strawberries. So, there is a strawberry theme in the stitching world in June, so I wanted to have a couple things with strawberries if I could find them. Anyways, this has strawberries, but it also has various birds, and I haven't worked on it yet this year, so this will be fun. I started it last year and was working on the house. This is an owl forest embroidery pattern. It's free. Like I said, I didn't press, sorry. I'll press it for you next time. And I'm doing a color conversion from Stash. So I'm trying to match what they did. I'm not like rocking the boat or anything, but just using what I had on hand. And I think this is more of that navy bean linen, if I'm right. Blop. Okay, so another bird I have. It's a little unlike me to pull out something out of season, but I might just work on the owl and see what I can get done in a day or two of stitching and save the leaves for autumn. This is a kit that my mother gave me, and I swapped out the linen to I swapped out the Ada for linen. It's very similar in color to the original, but I love it on the linen. So that's where we're starting. He's so cute. His little adult. So cute. Anyways, I should finish his face and get working on that belly probably. I just never have enough time in autumn, so this is a good reason to pull things out. This is Umbrella for Owl, also a kit my mother gave me. These are like birthday and Christmas presents. She knows me well. This one I swapped out just for a white linen. And yeah, I think I was working on the mushroom last time. But again, I think I'll probably just work on the owl itself and then see where the wind takes me from there. This one's less out of season. I mean, it's just got a little mushroom, and I'd had him as a winter project for a while, but I did not have enough time at Christmas time to be stitching owls. This is another whip, the Visitor. Yes, I was doing a stitch along with, oh my gosh, my brain just went completely blank. Lost in Stitches. Lisa. Anyways, stitch along. I've done nothing on it in a year or so. Don't remember when exactly I started, but I'm pretty sure I started this when we lived in Bothell. So, you know, in Washington. It's been a minute. This is on Glory by Picture This Plus, and it's spectacular. It definitely started with the fun part though, so I need to work on that bee skip. It's big. It's gonna be gorgeous though. It already is. I love these antique birds, as you will see. Okay, so those are all my whips. And then I have a couple of bird patterns that have been in my stash, and so I've been working on kitting them up so I could start a couple, because why not? First one is Thomas. Those colors are amazing. By Kathy Barrick, and I just have a 20 count Ada, and it's charted in DMCs. So there we go. I just pulled one because I will be stitching with one strand for this, and yeah, I think it'll be good. feel like I had a thought there and then it went away. Oh well. Moving on. Okay, so the next one is Rosella Rests by Mojo Stitches. I've had this, I'm pretty sure I bought this back when they were doing the Hearts for Pam, somewhere around then, and it's just been waiting for the right moment, and I finally decided, birds, I want to do it. So I think I have all the colors. I'll have to check my card, but I'm going to stitch it on this ale linen, and I think it will have a really, I don't know, I just think the colors will look really gorgeous on it. So we'll get a start on that, and then, oh, I pulled this pattern. I don't have it kitted though, so I don't know. It would take, it's so cute. I bought it at market this year. Captain Patchy Pelican. That's okay, we've got lots of summer. Summer hasn't even technically started yet, so perhaps, I don't even know if I have all those colors. I could budget. Anyways, perhaps I'll play with kitting that up. Perhaps I won't. I don't know. We'll see. All right, and then this has eagles and I don't know, some like turkey bird over there. Anyways, it has birds, so I thought I'd give this a start. And I have just a flax cashel linen to stitch it on, which I think will be good. I tried another one. I have a piece of Thornfield, like an 1/8 of a yard of Thornfield, but I don't think the white will show very well, and I really want those eagles to have their moment. Eagles are gorgeous, bald eagles, oh my goodness. When we were in Alaska, of course there are many of them, and they would come in droves during the salmon run, and they're just spectacular birds, spectacular birds. Anyways, this will be fun. I've had this, I think I bought this last summer, but then never got around to starting it. I love this pig in the fence here. He's so funny. Polka dotted pig. So cute. Anyways, so I'll give that a start. And I think that's pretty much it, other than I did sign up for the new Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Circus, Welcome to the Circus stitch along. I wasn't going to do any stitch alongs this year, but the hippo in the tutu got me. Even though she's covered in pom-poms, it's going to be so dang cute. So I just did the pattern because if you bought it, I don't know, the pattern itself isn't too bad. I think it was like $10 or something like that. And I'm just kitting it up myself. I haven't even made my floss card yet. I just have a bag of flosses. But I do have this piece of Dusty Cottage Lugana, which I think will be okay. I wanted something a little bit pinker, but I don't have anything. So without it being too light. I do have one soft peachy linen, but I think it's too soft. I don't think the whites will show. Anyways, I don't know. What do you think? I think it's going to be okay. It's a little different than what they have, but I don't know. I'm second guessing it now. It's a really cool piece of fabric. Maybe it's okay. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. It's all good. I think the pattern comes out today or sometime this week. The first section, anyways. So that's gonna be fun. Like I said, I hadn't planned on doing any stitch alongs this year. I hadn't even planned on working on any of my stitch alongs in progress, my stitch along whips. But I don't know, it just tickled my fancy, I guess. So we'll see. I'll probably get a couple sections in and then drop it like a hot potato. That's okay. I'll come back to it. I always come back to them eventually. Yeah, so stitching birds for June, for most of June. Life is pretty busy right now, so it might be 3 weeks before I get back instead of the hoped for 2. But yeah, we'll just see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I will be back either way. And depending on my mood, I think I am on the cusp of ready to do a quilting bee. I have things to share. I've been stitching like I'm going to, my sewing machine is going to self-combust and I'm out of time. It might self-combust because I'm stitching so much. No, it's fine. It's a good little machine. It's a little workhorse. Anyways, yes, I have things to share, and going into more summery stitching, I have a kind of a swap out of projects, but I've completed a couple and I'm on the verge of assembling a top or 2. So yeah, I'm making progress. I'm just stitching like the wind, so it's great. But I'd planned on doing it later this week. It might wind up being recorded next week, just depending on how things settle down with baby. So I need to be available, and that's a bigger video. Quilting bees have a lot more setup than Flosstubes even, which have their fair share of setup. So yeah, we'll just see how it goes. But definitely sometime in the next week, I'll be doing a quilting bee, and that will be super fun. It'll be super fun. I'm excited to share all my things because there's a lot. Okay, this is a quick video. I must be talking fast. Either that or I just worked on fewer things. I did go almost a solid week without doing any stitching. So, I don't know. I feel good about what I did. I did good. It's fun. Yeah, okay. Take care of yourselves, my friends. I hope you get all the stitching and you spread kindness always. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Take care.